Hello, everybody. I am going to give everyone a minute to just get on here. I'm going to hop over to the comments, and there they are. Okay, welcome back. We just got off a call that was talking about the logistics of the summit and learning a little bit about AAC devices and how to get them. But tonight, you are in for a treat. I met Abby and Christine Romeo 2 years ago. They came on my podcast. They were so sweet to come and talk to little old me that had a new podcast. And we just connected. And we ended up getting to meet in person last October, in Turks and Caicos at Beaches Resorts. They had an Autism Inclusion Week. And my daughter was with me. And Sophie and Abby are less than a year apart. So they got to hang out. It was just such a great experience, and we connected on the level of two moms, two daughters. And when I asked Christine if they could join us for a little bit tonight, and she said yes, I was so thrilled because I know you are going to love them as much as I do. And let me know in the comments, have you watched Abby on Love on the Spectrum? Yes. She is the most beloved person on that reality show. Everybody thinks she's incredible, beautiful, has an amazing voice. She's done so many things. So let me know in the comments. Are you ready to meet Abby and her incredible mom, Christine? Okay. I think they're ready, Abby. Here we go. Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm just watching these comments go by. Can you see them on your screen?
I don't know. Can we see them?
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. There's a lot. People are saying like, I love her and her mom. Maybe someone on my team, maybe Tina, if she sees a good comment, can click on it and it will show up, because then you guys can see how much everybody loves you. So in the audience today, we have teachers and speech therapists and moms and dads of autistic kids, and maybe some people that are like just learned about you through watching Love on the Spectrum, and they're like, this is an awesome young woman. So Abby, I told everyone that we met in person in Turks and Caicos last October. Can you tell them what you and Sophie did together?
We went down a lazy river together. We went in the ocean. It was beautiful. It was fun there.
So fun. And you went back and you told me before we got on here, you got to wear something new. What was that?
A mermaid tail, which I've always wanted to do because mermaids were my dream.
A mermaid tail. They're amazing. Actually, one of my former students has a mermaid tail because he has a pool in his house, and he has worn his mermaid tail before too. Yeah. His name's Willie. A merman. Oh yeah. A merman tail. Yes, so good. Okay, let's get started. So should I start, Christine? Well, you guys, first you need to meet Christine Romeo. She is Abby's incredible mom and advocate. And you know what you see on the show, or if you have watched it, is she's there for Abby, helping interpret, like if there's any misunderstandings, helping us understand what Abby's been through. And now Abby's able to tell a lot more herself over the years, which is great. And what you see is who Christine is in person, just an advocate, warrior mom. And I love it. So should I start with some questions for Abby?
I think it would be best for Abby to start, right, Abby? You want to maybe take go, and she might ask for a break because these kind of formats are the most difficult. So we always give breaks as requested. But why don't you jump in?
Sounds good.
Questions. Okay. Let her ask you.
Okay, I'll ask the first question and then let me know what you think. So you, Abby, have said a lot of times you felt like the Little Mermaid. Can you tell us what that feeling was like?
The feeling of feeling like Ariel in The Little Mermaid is feeling isolated and alone. Autism stole my voice, just like how Ursula stole Ariel's voice.
Yeah. And so when you were young, you must have been 3 or 4 years old.
I think I was 5 or 6.
Even 5 or 6, you still felt like that. Yeah. So when you felt like your voice was stolen, what do you mean? Like, what did that feel like?
I couldn't get
Did you know?
Ariel couldn't get her words out, and neither could I.
Did you know what you wanted to say?
I wanted to. Ariel had the same when she was singing her song, Part of Your World.
Yeah. And the voice, what she wanted to say wouldn't come out. And that's how you felt.
It took a while to come out.
Yeah.
But eventually it did.
Yeah.
How do you describe it? You say my
brain doesn't do what I tell it to do.
That's right.
But it does. Now it does. But when I was a kid, I really struggled because my brain, I was just angry at my brain.
Yeah. Yeah. And Christine, I've heard you talk with her about this, like explaining it. Is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, we had to dig deep in order for Abby to be able to verbalize what she just said. However, when she was 12 years old, she had a moment where I happened to have my phone camera right there. And she said to the camera, it's in one of her videos, my stupid brain, why isn't it doing what I'm telling it to do?
And I said I wanted to rip it out.
And I wanted to rip his brain. And she was very angry. But in that moment, it was really a God shot moment where I felt like the universe was giving me a clue as to what it might feel like for her. So one, she said it too, but she did not have that kind of descriptive language. So it was a miracle. And I've always looked at it that way. She's angry at her brain. So she has the desire and the awareness to execute participating socially, maybe expressing a concept, but the brain won't do it. It's like frozen, right?
Yeah.
The brain's like maybe frozen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that had to be really frustrating as a child to feel like that.
Yes. And I got really jealous of typical girls.
Yeah. Okay. I've heard you talk about that. Can you tell everyone what you mean by that?
No, listen to her.
Okay.
No, it's okay.
I wanted to do what they did, but my brain wouldn't allow it.
Yeah. You wanted to fit in and hang out and do what they were doing.
A typical kid would sneeze, I would sneeze because I was trying to fit in, even though it made them uncomfortable.
You would
copy them if they did a certain thing.
So that's something a teacher might want to know is like, why is my child doing X, Y, and Z? And I always saw myself as a detective, but Abby would literally copy a typical child's behavior on the playground because she was trying to be like them, which broke my heart when I first heard about it because that disconnect. But it was also another clue into a perfectly almost reasonable behavior that we might say, stop doing that. But now I know why she was doing it. And I wished I had that language so I could have talked her through it. You see?
Yeah.
But I love that she can now verbalize a lot of these things so that it makes sense.
Yeah. And that's a really good point, Christine, that it's the way we look at it. So someone might think, oh, Abby, you're copying them just to be not nice to them. But it was the opposite.
Yeah.
You wanted to interact. Does anyone here watching, tell us in the comments, have a student or a child that's like that? They might imitate and it bothers another child, but they're really trying to connect. We all want connection, don't we, Abby?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask you another question here. So thinking back to that preschool and elementary school age, what kind of things would have helped you feel happier or more comfortable at school?
Or probably
so maybe in the class
moving my body.
Oh yeah. Moving your body.
Because when I'm sitting still, I'm completely zoned out, like when Love on the Spectrum came for season 1. But they came back and they finally got to let me move.
Oh, tell us about that. So the first season, you were sitting more and you weren't able to like express yourself as well or feel as comfortable. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Do you want me to help you explain this?
Yeah, please.
This is a bit detailed.
Okay.
In the beginning of Love on the Spectrum, they have the interviews in the bedroom. You meet everybody in their bedroom. They're sitting there, they're talking. They came to the house day 1, set up lights, chair, and the guy, Keanu Cleary, is just going to ask questions. Now, for us, that is the most difficult part of autism, Q&As and attention and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So the expectation of sitting still, how did you feel sitting still?
I felt unfocused. I lost language. I was completely zoned out.
She became more and more zoned out and yawning and saying, is this almost over? And it was not a successful day. It was
unsuccessful.
I never thought they would come back to continue telling any story of ours because it was that much of a earlier. And I felt bad that I put Abby maybe in a position where it was too hard for her. So I had a lot of personal regrets and whatnot. But for some reason, Keon O'Cleary came back the next couple of days and he said, let's just shoot Abby around the house and just see what we get. And how did you feel when you were moving around?
Much better. So
her true self came out. She was laughing and joking, and you did an impression from Finding Nemo. Do you remember what you did?
Bruce the Shark.
Because where's he from?
Australia, mate.
And where's Keon from?
Australia, mate.
So she was doing impressions with her fake Australian accent. I mean, it was night and day.
And I have another one. No, Cleo, that's H2O.
That's so good.
You've heard of that. Did Sophie ever watch that show?
I'm sure Sophie did. I'm old enough. I don't remember all of those, but.
So in the classroom, though, I think this was such a great discovery for you that moving was connected to language. The ability to move your hands, move the body was totally connected to her focus and her language. So when they came back the second day, the Keon O'Cleary turned to me and said, is she always like this? And I said, yes, usually in her normal way of being. And I think a lot of kids on the spectrum and those with ADHD need to move.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
How they're wired. And we have a school system set up to say, sit down, be quiet, stay frozen, look at the board and I mean, it's the opposite environment based on their neurological wiring. We've created wiring for a one size fits all.
Yeah. And we do talk about that because sometimes teachers feel judged by an administrator coming in thinking sitting and quiet means your classroom is successful. But Abby, when you were young and now, what kind of movement activities do you like? What makes you feel like the best?
What makes me feel the best is that I'm moving around, moving my body.
Mm-hmm. Could be anything.
Something, and I like listening to music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's your favorite music?
Pacing. But it's just that I seem to be much more focused these days than from 2 decades ago.
Sorry, she asked you your music.
Yeah.
I just love singing. I like listening. I have some preferred activities with music. Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, pop, even sometimes 80s music, even though I wasn't on Earth on the 80s.
I love that. We were, Christine. We were here.
I wasn't.
No.
Preferred activities is listening to soundtracks from theme songs from shows from when I was very young, because that brings back a bad memory.
Oh yeah. Soundtracks from when you were young, because Christine, this is something we can talk about later if you want, but that episodic memory, unless it's something you guys want to talk about now. But the way Christine and Abby talk about this memory and how memories are attached to emotions is really, really interesting. And it's so true. I've seen it with so many students. I have students who are in their 30s now who greet me the same way. Maybe say, what will happen if the dog jumps up on Sophie? That's when he ever sees Sophie, he says, what will happen when the dog jumps up on Sophie? And then Sophie says, I'll cry. I cried because one time, Abby, Willie's dog jumped up on Sophie when they were little and she cried. And it was like a very emotional memory for him. And so he remembers that and it's uncomfortable, but he brings it up.
Kind of like what you do with the clubhouse memories.
Yes.
Can you guys talk about that?
There was a program I went to called the Clubhouse at age 4, and I was totally like a fish out of water. There's a lot of kids tantrum there, and there were more boys, and they had more boy toys, which I hated.
How did it make you feel when you were there?
So uncomfortable.
And so what happened when you felt uncomfortable later on in your life, like years later? What would you say?
I would say that's the Clubhouse. So whenever the bus was late, I would say, I feel like I'm in the Clubhouse in the UCLA building.
So the whole idea of this program and the term clubhouse became adjectives for I'm scared, I'm sad, I'm shocked, and nobody was connecting the dots. It lingered into junior high and high school, and I just noticed other references to lived experiences as language instead of feeling words, and that's where we began to dismantle and try to understand. I guess my thing was with 26 years involved in speech and therapies, why didn't anyone ever tell me about this part of autism, which to me is huge?
Yeah. And I've heard you talk about it with like Gestalt language processing, which has become more and more talked about. And it's kind of what you're describing, a piece of that. So she would use, Abby, what would you say? It's the clubhouse, or I don't like the clubhouse.
We put the feeling words next to the memory.
Right. But what would you say when you were scared? You'd say that's
the clubhouse.
That's the clubhouse.
Whenever I see the Sunrise Kids, I would go, that's the clubhouse.
Meaning she was not comfortable. She was not happy. Didn't want to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Sunrise Kids, I would say the Sunrise is for like boys and 2-year-olds.
So those are all now categories of good and bad, which is also another reference and part of the Gestalt. Temple Grandin has categories, but her categories are not connected to emotion. They are factual. Like if you ask Temple, it's in one of her books, describe to me a church steeple. She will draw and see the one that was on the corner of Main and 3rd in the town she grew up in. I personally asked her, not yet, but I personally asked her, do you have emotions connected to these visual memories? And she said no. So therein lies another difference between types of minds. And if we're going to help them and treat them and support them, we have to acknowledge these differences, or we can't create effective therapies.
Someone said, Abby, that memory, the episodic memory, does it happen just during like scary or frustrating
any things? Of them? Like whenever I hear like a baby crying, I would also say that's the clubhouse.
Okay. Yeah. So you get what she's saying. So that's where we can't take autistic kids literally. We have to be detectives, like Christine said, and figure out, okay, what does this mean? Okay, it comes from this one experience, and then sharing it with the team so that if you hear Abby say that's clubhouse, it means whatever you guys are doing, it's not feeling good for her right now.
Right? Yeah. Was there anything else about the classroom and things that you wanted to share, right? Because that's what we were kind of focusing on, Tara.
What would make you comfortable in a classroom? Like if you were that 3 and 4-year-old again, what kind of classroom would make you go in and be like, I feel good here?
What do you need in the classroom?
I need some space.
Lots of space. So I remember this, different classroom settings was the ratio was 6-to-1. And I think, oh, that's good. That's a great ratio. And then we walk in the room and it's a shoebox and the desks are inches apart from each other. And I would say this is the most triggering. I mean, even I feel anxious walking in this room. So that's nice about that ratio. So then you would have to completely declutter the room and get rid of all of the tchotchkes and items that might be kind of fun in the typical world, but it's going to make it more sensory unfriendly.
Yeah. Too much stuff is overwhelming.
Yeah. I would say that was true, right? What else did you need to feel comfortable? Remember what you had said? But what you said that you needed in the classroom?
Taking breaks whenever I needed them.
Yep.
That's great. That's a really good one that teachers don't always have control over their classroom size and like what's in it. I mean, you can make it more decluttered for sure. But Abby, that is a really good thing, like the breaks and being able to move, but being able to teach breaks.
Yep. I remember the one thing that was also
the visual dictionaries,
not dictionaries, visual, just pictures.
Visual pictures were distracting. Like in my old log cabin in Lake Arrowhead, there were these 2 creepy bird pictures hanging on the walls of where they
haunted you.
Ooh.
Like,
they did?
To me, they looked a lot like ghosts.
Well, those are great words. Those are new.
They were tan, but ghosts are more white.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier before we started, and we were talking about the classroom, and I was reminding Abby of some of these sensory things. And we were talking about, sometimes you feel this, like I'm the best teacher if my room is decked out. Like I've got animals and balloons and this and that. And I learned this from several therapies. I devisualized Abby's room when she was a kid. There were no pictures on the walls, none. She had her stuffed animals in sort of areas, but we took away any extraneous visual distractions because in the typical world, maybe not even in the typical world. There's just this thing that we think it's the thing we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But
Cutesy bulletin boards, things all over the walls.
Less busy.
Yeah.
I think would be calming for you, you said, right? Okay.
Yeah. I see that. And I saw that with a lot of my students over the years. Like less is more when it comes to toys available at one time. When it comes to the walls, art projects, all of that. Like strip it down, not in a bad way, but in a like Zen calming way.
It's like a minimalist thing. I know I'm going to say my house is cluttered. And I know that if I could take the time to declutter, I am calmer.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I know. With this summit, everything has been a little busy lately, and my house isn't as tidied as normal, and it does affect you. And so imagine going into a space to learn every day and feeling uncomfortable.
We've got 2 more questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Should we do 2 more questions and then you can take a break and I'll talk to your mom a little bit and then you can come back? Okay. So Abby, was there like a person or a place or an activity that has made you feel most like yourself?
Right here, right now, not going back to old memories, but take me.
Okay, can you explain what that is?
Going back to old memories.
We have a strategy.
We have a strategy called right here, right now, and not go down the bunny hole.
What do we do?
Okay.
What do we do?
What is the strategy?
Right here, right now.
Right. What do we do with that strategy? Can you say it?
Learn how to stay in the moment, push old memories away.
Right. What do? We look out the window
and see what we're seeing.
We list 5 items or 5 things that we're seeing so that it brings us right back into the moment so that we're not in an old memory. And that strategy sort of helps, connect with being understood. Yeah. Like we're not trying to change the fact that her brain works that way. It's just we're adding steps in to kind of help mold so she can advocate, participate in her way.
Yeah. So it can bring you back if you're starting to go down a path that you really don't want to go down. I think that could help a lot of us actually. Sometimes you start going down, thinking, like you said, past things or hard things in our life. And if we could do right here, right now, and bring ourselves back, I think that's a great strategy.
When we're in the car, for example, what do we do when we're driving?
We look for animals like coyotes.
We'll look out the window. We'll say, what do you see right now? And you'll say, I see a blue car. I see the playground. Oh, look, I see a bird.
Yes.
And suddenly our focus is on right here, right now. In fact, somebody wrote a song about it.
I wrote a song about it.
And you can watch it on Abby's YouTube because we're going to be launching it this week. There is
a new one
with it this week. Yes. And so
oh my gosh,
it's going to be on her YouTube.
Okay, well, see, Tina's going to find the YouTube channel so that she can pop it in the comments here. Abby, I'm so excited about this. So one thing with that question of what makes you feel most like yourself, I feel like singing makes you feel like yourself. You're so musical. And listening to you sing, I can tell that you're right in the moment and you feel good. Is that true to say?
Yes.
Can you tell us more about that?
Learn how to stay in the moment.
No, we're talking about now things that help you feel your true self. Singing.
Listening to the old dial-up internet from the 90s.
Oh,
do you remember that sound?
Okay, you have to. If these guys have not heard you do it, Christine, is it okay? Can she make the sound?
Go
okay.
As a matter of fact.
No, you have to do it yourself. That's a whole impression?
Yes, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to turn up the volume. So
okay,
ready?
Hold on.
I'm so excited for this.
So this is an auditory input to help calm the nervous system. It is a preferred input
that we stupid have.
Ad.
Okay, listen. That's it.
Here goes.
Listen.
Is it going?
We'll wait. It's okay.
Finger.
Can you hear
it? That's it.
Does anyone remember that?
We had it on our old computer.
So that is auditory input, as we were saying, that you learned in your Gestalt language processing. So tell them why you listen to that. What does it do?
Brings me back to the time when I heard it in the office.
It turns on your
smart brain.
What is smart brain?
Smart brain helps me feel good, like when I listen to like music or dial-up.
But the smart brain keeps you regulated. And then what happens? The other brains that take over.
Like whenever I copy people, the emotional and survival brains take over.
So we learned there's 3 types of brains, and that if we use the 5 senses of sight, touch, smell, taste, and sound based on the individual person's favorite input, we can regulate quickly, not have a meltdown, get back to center, and participate. But that means stopping in the middle of something, listening for Abby to auditory input first. That is the most powerful. Number 2 is visual. What's your second favorite input that you like?
My second favorite input is visual input, like looking at Ben's cutest little puppy.
She has 5 or 6 obsessed photos that she loves looking at that make her feel really happy, brings her right back to center. So that's kind of a part of.
And here it is.
Oh, what's his name?
So
Navi. Isn't she the cutest?
Oh, it's a girl, Navi. So that brings you back to center, looking at Navi.
Yes.
Oh,
so we have those aspects. And then, Abby, what are the other things that you like to do to feel like your true self besides singing? Do you remember what you said to me earlier?
Swimming in the pool, because I like diving down under the deep end, under the water.
Yeah. What does that feel like?
Pressure. I just like going under. Like I try to stay underwater for as long as the modem sound.
That's
as long as the modem sound,
even though most people think it's annoying.
It's so funny. I love that. I've seen the videos where you like move your mouth with the sound.
Oh, it's yes, and these funny. Annoying. Do you remember these annoying multi-tone car alarms?
Because that's another auditory input situation. Yes. Yeah. We don't need to listen to them though.
I was going to say, are you finding one?
We don't really need to play those. But in the swimming, I just want to say one thing that's really important. May I add something here? Which is just that when Abby came home from school as a young girl, she would dive under the sofa cushions. And then she would ask me to lay on top of her. And then I read Temple Grandin's book about the squeezing machine that she had. And I realized that Abby had a lot more sensory dysregulation, and deep pressure really helped. We found a massage place that charged $15 for a 15-minute massage. And we needed to go do that 3 times a week. Like there were little things about deep pressure, swimming. She'll go to the very bottom and want to hang out there because I think she can feel her body better in space and in movement, getting into the OT terminology. And I think that helps the regulation. So that was a good one, right? Anything to do with squeezing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That pressure sounds like it was good.
Yeah.
Abby, can I ask you one more thing? And then I think you want to take a break, right? Okay. So we had a question from someone that said, Abby and Christine, how can teachers and parents foster self-love and self-acceptance for autistic kids?
I mean, is that for their kids or themselves or both?
Well, it probably could be both, but for autistic children. I think
children themselves to come up with self-love. I say, do you have any idea of how to tell other people on the spectrum that are struggling how they can love themselves?
Be your best true self and stay positive no matter what.
That's good.
That is good. And I think finding your true self, a lot of times you have to figure out what you like, right? What you're interested in, like all the things that you talked about, that things you love. Yeah. What you're good at. What are you good at, Abby?
What are your special skills? Let's start with music. What do you have in music?
Singing. I have perfect pitch. I can sing before I
can
stop
talk. Right there. You have perfect pitch. Wow. That's a hard thing to have. They can play a note and she can just say what it is. Auditorily, it's in her head. That's a harder skill. What else is a hard skill? Special things? What about vision?
I have good vision, like bald eagle I once saw.
She can see birds in the sky before anyone else.
This is, can I?
Almost. We're just
like a science test.
This is like a science test. I know. We'll let you.
But it was harder when I was a child. Life was the hardest. From ages 2 to 12.
Those were the hardest
Anywhere
stages.
from 2000 to 2009 was the hardest.
Can you just tell me 3 things that you can do that are exceptional skills that you have? We did perfect pitch, visual. You can see visually. You can see everything. What about your memory?
I have a great episodic memory.
Can you remember things from 2007 and 8? And I can ask you and you can just tell me the answer, right?
Yeah. But I don't want to talk about go back, live that far, because life was hard.
That's okay. I just wanted to give them an idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Ask
Thank you.
Thanks for having you on the call.
Yes. And before will she come back and say goodbye when we're done?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, of course. Okay.
All right. Sounds good, Abby. Hello, Christine.
Breaks are good. Breaks are
good. Oh, what was that? Sorry.
Breaks are good.
Breaks are good. Yeah, yes. I could tell. She's like, okay. You know how we all feel at the end of long meetings where we're like, please no one, please don't ask another question. There's always someone that does. Okay, so someone asked you, Christine, what should teachers ask parents in order to create that comfortable environment and when they're meeting that student for the first time in family?
I think it's hard because there's different types of parents and there's different types of teachers. And one of the things Abby didn't tell you, but I'm going to tell you now, is that when she was younger, we did typical preschool and we did a special day class together. So 3 days special, 2 days typical. I wanted the typical care modeling, which is not always available in a special class. Oops, my earring fell out.
Uh-oh.
At least I didn't lose it. And so with that being said, there were 2 different things happening. The special ed teacher was amazing. I learned so much from her, still fabulous. But the typical preschool was not used to having someone. And so in that case, we had a lot of just not having it. I run my classroom this way. Please adhere to my rules. And I came in very apologetically, and I was new to the game. I didn't quite understand, and I was nervous because I didn't want Abby to be disruptive. I was very aware of, I am personally not the type of parent that thinks the world changes for my child with autism. I think we have to integrate, accommodate, and collaborate in order to work together. It's simply not fair for Abby to be disruptive in a class and take away from another student's experience if she can't generally, participate. And that's why she wound up going to an autism school. We were in the most restrictive environment from second grade on. And that was our choice because there was no other placement. But in that typical preschool, the teacher was very, very, like I said, combative, didn't want to hear. So in that case where you might feel, I know what I'm doing, this parent is coming in, we have to, all of us, put our egos aside and say, there's stuff I don't know about this kid because I don't live with them.
Yeah.
And I would go to my teacher and say, there's no way she could know about the nuances here because she doesn't live with her. So we need to open up. And this is true about everyone. We all have our own story and lived experience. We've got to work together in every aspect of life in order to make things work the best they can. So this particular teacher, the incident that happened was that at recess, she lined up all the girls together and then she lined up all the boys. And at the end of the boy line, she stuck Abby in her aid. And that idea of peer isolation because of her disability still lingers in Abby's thoughts and feelings about how she fits into the world even today. That teacher was not collaborative. She was not kind to me and just felt threatened. But that experience of making that decision without even asking me, like if she had a physical disability, then I would understand. Like, I get that. Like, and you could explain to the child, hey, you need more time, sir, whatever that might be. But that's not what happened here. It was one of the worst experiences. And of course, Abby couldn't tell me what was going on. So I didn't know.
Yeah. And it's still something that if she goes into those past memories,
well, the reason why she said, boys are bad and girls are good is from that teacher's experience of isolation. Boys were bad because she was stuck with them. Girls were good because that's who she wanted to be.
Yeah. She wanted to be with her
peer group. She wasn't unaware of that. So that kind of thing. So teachers have to lovingly educate parents who are in denial. Because let's face it, not all parents. I've seen parents make choices that I don't agree with because their egos were involved in the placement.
Yeah.
I mean, Abby's just so you know, Abby has a certificate of completion. She does not have a high school diploma. I did not think it made any sense for her. And I clearly didn't have an ego about it. It's not my diploma, it's hers. And best decision I made, because all of those life skills took over. So we have to, I think, work together to help parents who might be in denial gently understand that this education is not theirs, it's their child's.
Yeah.
That's such a big part of it. And never to feel, if a parent is coming to you with ideas, suggestions, or thoughts, pass it on to the team. I've had OTs blame the behaviorist about a sensory issue. And I hear that, and I just know now that's not behavior, that's sensory. Team meeting, let's go. And I was leading that, but not all parents have the understanding that they might be able to do that. And it's to get that whole team together.
Yeah.
The teacher has a lot on their plates. And the other thing that's really hard, as Abby said, as in that Clubhouse program, was they had so many different levels of kids thrown into one program. Mm-hmm. And that placement issue becomes very, very difficult, because Abby was traumatized. That child had just as much a right as anyone else to be in some placement, but that wasn't a good fit for those two kids.
Yeah. I think, you and I have talked about this before, just in schools, sometimes some of the placements don't always make sense. And sometimes there's schools where it's not even the teacher deciding it. It's like, sometimes it's above that. Like, okay, we put these kids here. And a lot of times I've seen kids that are like, maybe have lower support needs in general, be put in like with a behavioral class, an EBD classroom. And that can be a recipe for disaster. Or, like certain classrooms, kids like Abby that have those sound or sensory differences where, she doesn't like cluttered and too much and noise and all of that. Is there a way we can accommodate her in that classroom, or would a different placement be better? But it's all of those things that parents have to do, and they shouldn't have to do, to advocate. And also now I hear more teachers, I guess, in our community, and many from the comments happening here. I think there's teachers so willing to do that now. They know more, they're doing better. But like, what questions do we ask? How do we find out this information? And we talk about the detective work with this too. Finding out what the child's deep interests or special interests are. Because that's going to be the way to like forge a relationship. If you're not using them as okay, do this, and then I'll give you your favorite thing. It has to be more embedded. You know what I mean? Not behavior based. But what else? What other kind of things? Like, I think just asking even what songs they like on YouTube, all those things.
So if it was me, one of the most important things for me is to understand those basic things about the kids. Like right now, parents DM me almost every day about needing advice for their kids. And I've learned to ask 5 or 6 basic questions. Okay. And one of the things that's confusing is that this word spectrum is something that is vague. And it leaves me asking my teacher questions because spectrum doesn't tell me anything. Yeah. I mean, Temple Grandin and I have talked about this. Abby had a significant speech delay that impacted everyday life to the point of not being able to go to regular school. And then you have people with autism who have never had 1 hour of speech ever. And right there I go, those are 2 different brains with 2 different needs and 2 different profiles for support and intervention, right?
Yeah.
So then that's to start. So you'll have kids with high intelligence who do initiate, whose struggle is more the awkward, I don't know what to say, I can't read the room. And I'm going to say this so that in the lower support needs, I mentored a guy with just ADHD. He didn't even have autism. He definitely wasn't on the spectrum. It took him 7 years to graduate college. And I mentored this kid for a year, every week on the phone. And I learned so much about the ADHD brain and how that is impacted. So I'm not talking about not supporting, I'm talking about different supports. So now we don't know what the best plan is because we're using the word spectrum. And that doesn't tell me much. 1, 2, 3? Are you kidding me? There's like 10, 12 different sort of variations of struggles that are the most impacting in Abby's would be speech and language. So So there's that. But in these questions, in terms of sort of like intake, definitely find preferred interest. I would definitely find out about triggers. And if the parents tell you the triggers, therein lies a problem. Because if you really should have an inkling, you're never going to know everything. Trust me, I'm still trying to sort stuff up. But I can now see when Abby is begun to be triggered like extreme heat. So then I avoid anything where there's extreme heat. We don't go to a water park, her favorite place, when we have high temperatures. Why? Because you're not in the water the whole time. You're only in the water some of the time. You're waiting in line most of the time.
Yeah.
She has to be in the water the entire time or we're not going.
So those little things, my child, extreme heat is difficult and it might trigger, X, Y, and Z to happen.
Correct.
That would be great to know for recess time, just so you.
Billy needs shade. No. Abby can go outside, but she needs shade. Even direct sunlight without extreme heat can be bad. So we find places where there's shade. We'll go anywhere and I'll just say, is there shade? Or I'll request it in advance, or I'll find out, is there shade at this place? Because if there isn't and it's hot, then we can't go. So all of those sensory triggers are extremely important, as well as preferred interests. So anything to do with preferred interest is going to engage the child. And you want that engagement because now you're going to have a doorway for them to like this experience, be willing to maybe try something new, that kind of a thing. Absolutely. So that, and I also feel like, finding out what's going on at home, just like the general vibe, so we can support them in any ways. I'm a single mother, we went through a divorce. I had many people living in my house throughout my children's childhood that I bartered with because I couldn't afford to pay anyone, but I did have a room that I turned into a guest room for someone to live in while I went to work. And so, that's not the same vibe as someone that might have, mom at home or dad's at work and the dad comes back, that kind of a thing. Yeah. So there are those things at home that can maybe change the energy. And Abby might be anxious when one of the people that lived here was leaving and another person was moving in. So those variables can sort of also happen, Yeah. So I think having some sort of, intake to know the students better and keeping the parents informed of anything that's happening at school and be as honest as you can. I mean, I had teachers tell me she's doing great. And I'd go, not true. That was nice, but I know that she wasn't doing great. And there were things going on and I'd further investigate and find out what was happening, because look, sometimes the district is going to place a kid in the wrong placement because they need to fill a seat. Of course I witnessed that a million times. I even saw a girl in Abby's 8th grade class when I sat in and observed, because I'm going in and watching, and this girl was fantastic. She was a great student. She sat there. I don't know what her issues were, obviously, but she raised her hand, answered questions, and I went to the teacher and I said, why is she in this class? And I knew that it was because the parents didn't really know what the other students were like or what that program was really like. Great for Abby. Great for Abby. Not so great for that girl.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know her parents' confidentiality, but those are the kinds of things that you think, oh, and I know that everyone's under pressure. We got to find a place. We have 3 empty seats. We need to fill them. Like, how do we make it? It's hard. It's a hard one, but I say, do your best, ask a lot of questions, share those answers. And if you're getting any resistance from a parent, lovingly, help them understand that they're helping you. Do you know what I mean? And reminding them that it's their education. And there's no shame in not having a high school diploma. I mean, my son, Abby's brother, went to Purdue University. I put him through engineering school, another mother moment. And he finished and he just said, college is a scam. The same amount of money if I was in a trade. And I was like, okay, I did it. Good for you. If you want to go.
Yeah. Go ahead and go do it now.
You are launched.
Yeah. Yes. I think one of the biggest things I think about when it comes to, we're so lucky with our students who have IEPs because we can create individualized education. So Abby, if you were my student, if you were my student and you were 4 and I knew you loved Sesame Street, I would figure out how to make this guy into Cookie Monster. And we would be doing activities like this. Do you know what I mean?
She's talking about special interest.
Oh.
What's your special interest? that makes you excited about things? What do you love?
Mermaids.
There you go, mermaids.
So we would do everything about mermaids, and that as much as we can. And we're lucky being in special education because we can go outside the box with what we're doing. And that's what I encourage people to do. Take those interests.
I see a question right here. If you could speak to a parent of an autistic child who's in denial, so the child is in denial, what would you say to them to help them understand that autism doesn't mean that the child is broken, just that they think differently? And what's interesting about that question to me is, what kind of autism is this child kind of experiencing to feel these kinds of feelings, or perhaps feel like they're broken, or unless that's mom's
fault? Or is it the parent? I think sometimes the parent is in denial, and
the parents in denial.
And then
So I just want to say that's just such a great question, because I'm writing a book right now, and I talk about that in the book, because I really feel that we get these kids given to us and none of them are what we ordered. Maybe some of you got what you ordered, but I was surprised. Case in point, Abby's brother, once again, 6 feet tall and 235 pounds in high school, and he chose not to play football. He was in the school band playing the flute.
So, that was exactly what you envisioned, right?
You want to take another break and come? Why don't you go in the other room, get your hats, and then you can come back.
Oh, right? Yeah, she could show everyone her hats.
Yeah,
because they're in the exhibit hall.
You win, Abby. Okay. But that's such an important thing, because I do see parents that have that in their minds, that somehow their children are a reflection of their success or failure. And that's just not true. And it was the moment I met Abby where she was and accepted it exactly as it was, is the moment things started to change and get better. Can't compare and despair. I mean, that's just the worst thing. And that is a natural thing that we do as parents, because we have our own lives. We have our own stories. We had our own dreams. And I get that. I mean, I changed everything, and I fought and kicked for quite a while until I came in to understand I had to accept this. I didn't have another option. There was nothing that was going to change the situation. But I think by highlighting and showing, because the truth is, a child that's 8 years old with autism, you have no idea what that child's going to do. No, so there's several people I've met who have had difficult childhoods with speech, language, behavior, meltdowns, totally destroyed in high school. They didn't have as much of a speech deficit in communication, but they had very, very traumatic. And one guy is a touring singer-songwriter right now. It goes off all over. We don't know what's going to happen. So there's something about understanding that, and Autism Speaks says this, it's redefine possible. Let's say we're redefining what autism is and what we're capable of and what individuals are. It may not be what you ordered, but it's what you got. And so there's a way to embrace that and understand you're not alone. Maybe they can go online and look at there's a lot of mom creators out there, and a lot of them have profoundly autistic children. I follow all of them because I want to understand the whole picture. And then I see people with absolutely zero speech and language, and it's a very hidden, internalized experience for them that you can't see. So whatever that is that's why they're almost like different things. So wherever they fit on the spectrum is a starting point.
Yeah. And I think it's like you said, looking at this individual child.
Yes.
What are their strengths? What are their areas of need, or just that are more difficult for them? And then that's where you start. You can't just say autism, this is what we do.
And this is why
individualized.
Blanket statements that do happen now. Autistic people X, autistic people Y. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And big creators are writing this. And a lot of low support needs individuals who may not be able to have a reciprocal thing in their minds, which is part of their neurodiversity. They're not thinking reciprocal because they're coming from, and it's not ego-based. It's based in the way they see the world. So I can't really even blame them or fault that. That's a mindset, sort of. But for us, it's defining what that means. That's why in all my videos, I have Abby's autism as the hashtag. I'm trying to tell people that it's this kind of autism. Somebody who needs prompting, somebody who needs breaks, somebody who has a visual difference that you can see in the world, and we can accept and embrace and love, but you can see it. It's not like I'm disclosing anything. And I'm criticized for that. But I'm like, this is obvious. That's why we were pulled out of life at 2 years old.
Well, and it's like when you say Abby's autism, like that's the way it should be for every child. They have their own profile, spiky profile of, you know, the things that they're really, really good at, things. And it's like we don't always want to just teach to the harder things. We want to build up the things they're good at. So you have a child who is young and like loves letters. Let's dive into that. Let's not just focus on the thing that they maybe can't do as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's a balance between those things too. I mean, I remember the victories, like, and I'm telling you, when your autistic child hits a milestone that the other kids do on autopilot that you wouldn't even notice, the high of those moments, it's like winning a gold medal at the Olympics for me. I was on like the Today Show, and they were saying, you know, what's a time when you felt like, wow, autism has brought me so many surprises. I'm like, how about right now?
Yeah.
And I said the time she made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for the first time when she was 12 years old.
Yeah.
Or the time she tied her shoe when she was 9 years old.
Yes.
I cried equally. I felt the same victory in those moments. So, you know, having acknowledgement of what they do when they do it is a way to get them to their next level. And, you know, I looked at Abby as, you know, the universe gave me this child, and it was my assignment to help her be her best self. And that's kind of how I looked at it. It wasn't like me or my failure or my success. I was just like her teacher.
Yeah.
And I have a very good relationship with my typical son. He's 2 years younger. She was my first. So I see that that's a different thing, but I love them both obviously equally, and they both bring light and sunshine into the world in their own unique way. So you do have to reframe your thinking. If you're a parent that's struggling, you have to start looking at your kids. They're not here for your purpose. They're not here for your enjoyment. They're not here for, I mean, they're amazing, but I always looked at it this way. You get 18 years to train your kid for the front line of life. For the front lines of life. Yeah. And then you want to let go and wave as they go off to the front lines of life. That's all you get. And do you want them to be equipped? Do you want them to not know how to stand and, you know, maneuver in the world? And so I've always tried to make both of them within who they were be able to do that.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, so good. And I think with your new book coming out, it actually comes out in March, but people can pre-order it.
Yes, they can.
Because I know I pre-ordered mine. So yeah, we have an exhibit hall in the Summit Hub where people can go and they can click on Abby's table and they can see the book. They can pre-order the book, and then Abby makes hats. I don't know if she would show one and tell us about it.
Bring your loom over here. She's coming. One of the things I'm going to tell you about being her true self and being free, singing, swimming, listening to music, and making hats. There's something about the hands moving. She learned it in her vocational program. Once again, no high school diploma. I said, oh, she can make hats. And it was nothing. I started on Facebook, and now we sell around the world.
Yeah, I know. I think back when we did our podcast, I bought one and I loved it. And I was like, oh my gosh, everybody needs to buy a hat from Abby because she literally makes every one of them.
Every single one by hand herself. And she loves it. And there's something about it calms the brain. Yeah. So that's where, like, we have, you know, these spinning toys and stuff, but there's something about an activity where she's focused on the activity. She can hear better. Someone should be back there doing a hat, and she's listening to the conversation 2 rooms down. I don't know why. The brain gets calm and focused, so the auditory kicks in more. Isn't that interesting?
I want a hat. People are like, I want a hat. I want a hat. Christine, I want a hat. Yeah, so Abby will show it to you.
Abby, come on.
right now, with all of the digital everything in our world, there's been this analog renaissance, right? Where people are finding old hobbies like knitting and playing cards. And, it probably brings us back. We should all have a hobby like Abby that's an analog, not digital based hobby.
Correct.
I think it would help all of us in some way
It's
to kind of go back.
It's a really soothing and calming thing for her to do. And I've kind of watched how it's just helped her focus and relax. And it's also really, really great purpose for her.
Yeah. I want to see it. Someone said you're going to have a long wait list for hats, Abby.
Yeah, I have a ton of hats.
You have to hold it up and show her.
This is what I need.
Okay.
So,
I love it.
What? Speaking of this, my brother's little mini Australian Shepherd runs away with the yarn.
He has stolen a few things on occasion. But show her how you do it. Can you explain?
Basically, you have to push this over, then push this top one down.
Okay.
See what I'm doing?
How many rows?
This usually has about 27 rows.
27 rows. Anyway, so that's
hold it up a little bit.
Can you hold it up?
Look, what do you think?
That's so cool. So that all comes together and it eventually turns into a hat.
Yep, it cinches together at the end, and that gets tied in, and the bottom gets tied in, and she has leather labels that's made by Abby that get screwed onto the hats. Yep.
So that's you making it right now, Abby.
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh. So we have an Abby table online, Abby, where people can go and order your hat. And I have to say, in there too, we have her t-shirts and sweatshirts. And one of my favorites is that's interesting. I'm not interested.
Which she said on season 3 of Love on the Spectrum. Yes. So,
I love that.
Perfect, right?
It's so good.
There's a lot of phrases that are perfect.
Yeah, those quotes are all things that she said, right?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite one, Christine?
I do. There was one where she said, she talked about being in New York. We went to New York for the first time, and everybody was bumping into her, and it was so fast paced. And we randomly heard a guy on a bike, like a courier, almost get knocked off his bike by a car, common thing. And he screamed out an obscenity. And Abby saw the whole thing and heard it. And it's forever ingrained in her memory that all people in New York swear.
He goes, fuck you, asshole.
I thought you were going to say the move out of the way.
F you, asshole.
Okay, yes, that's what he said. And it's like a lived experience.
But it does. It gets stuck then. It gets stuck because it's emotional. So actually this moment, Christine, people can relate to, because I know in my class, I was a new teacher. I had one student, we still keep in touch. He's in his 30s, and he would walk down saying the word D-A-M-N. Dog. So he'd go, dog, dog, and he'd yell it. And I'm guessing it was said very emotionally in his house when the dog did something.
Yes.
And of course, his parents are like, oh gosh, why going down the hall at school, but it is kind of like that episodic memory.
Right.
Someone said, Abby, you're real. We love it. So you guys, do you have students or a child who picks things up like that are very emotionally based, and then it comes out and you're like, oh, whoops. We see it at school a lot.
That's
too.
the Gestalt language processing. And I do believe that even in the little kids, especially, if I had known about Gestalt, I would have been more investigative with the placement. I trusted a lot. And then trauma was experienced. She couldn't tell me. And now those traumas are a reference to the world, and I still deal with them. I explain this more on Instagram, on my Instagram, Christine Abby's mom. So that's what the handle is, at Christine Romeo, Christine Abby's mom. I also have a YouTube where I go into more detail about some of these different topics, just different things from placement to, Gestalt language processing, that kind of thing.
So they should look up Christine Abby's mom.
Yeah.
And
so
we can post it too.
So
in your exhibit hall, but
YouTube is Christine Abby's mom, and I have a little bit more in-depth thing, a lot of shorts as well. And then on Instagram, it's the same thing, Christine Abby's mom. So we'll try to share some of the deeper strategies I've used, just different perspectives. and sharing that information. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking this time with us.
Yes.
Abby, I love the hats. I don't know if you enjoy or don't enjoy singing a line on cue, but is there something you could say goodbye to us with a little?
What about right here, right now?
Right here, right now.
So we're going to sing the first verse.
Right here, right now. Find a joy like inside out. The past doesn't serve me anymore. The present and future mean so much more. And yes, I've got a brain with a mind of its own. So I'll take a deep breath and look out the window. See all there is to see. Put away the memory.
Oh,
Thank.
Abby, you're incredible. Your voice, we love you.
Thank you.
And we love your mom too. Thank you for being here. And we will get everyone to go to your booth and grab the book, grab a hat.
Great.
Got everything.
Great. All right. Thank you guys so much for having us share our story.
Yes. And Abby, hopefully Sophie and I will see you again to swim someday. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Goodbye.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. Oh my gosh. They honestly are so wonderful. And they were going to stay with us we're going to talk for 20 minutes. And Christine said, oh, we can stay longer. We would love to talk to your people longer. Oh my gosh. And you got to hear her brand new song that they said is coming out on a video on YouTube next week. I think it was next week, but we'll find out. We'll link everything we can tonight. Now, okay, I thought tonight was going to be like an hour and 15 minutes, but we got that extra time with Abby and Christine, which is priceless. I mean, come on, being in the same room. But let's transition over to the Make and Take. The Make and Take tonight is all about adapted books. And let's just, if you need to take a quick bathroom break, I understand. I'm going to take a drink of water and then I'm going to pull up my slides and get started. This will be a shorter one out of all of our Make and Takes. But I have some really great videos that you're going to want to see from in a classroom that I visited a couple months ago. Laura Wing is one of my members in the Autism Little Learners membership, and she allowed us to come and visit her classroom. And a lot of times I hear people say, okay, I love the adapted books. I love using them with students one-on-one, but how do I do this at a group level, right? So I'm going to show you that. But first, I'm going to show you how to make adapted books. And Tina needs to pop up here. I saw you waving.
I was going to say, you take a quick drink of water. I see a couple of comments that I'm just going to verbally chat about. So if we didn't meet in the first welcome call, I'm Tina from Team Autism Little Learners. And I see a few people saying they're having a hard time finding Abby and all of her links. She is in the exhibit hall. So once you get into the exhibit hall inside of your hub, whether it's free hub or the all access pass hub, you're going to click into the exhibit hall and then scroll down. Each one of the little, they're tents. They look like little logos with a person or a child next to them. It says Hats by Abby. You're going to click that and it's going to take you to another page. Every one of those tents is its own page, but Hats by Abby will take you to Abby's page so that you can go ahead and see everything that they have to offer as well. Yes, her logo has a mermaid. Hats by Abby, her logo is a mermaid. So you can scroll down, but that's where all of the amazing like Magnetiles and Bijou Build and Calm Caterpillar, everything is there. You just have to click on their actual link. So I did see that. And then the other one question that I saw was, again, how do I get into the hub? So Shauna is going to go ahead and drop the link for the free hub in the comments. You can click on that to get into the free hub for the summit. That's where all of the presentations are going to be. The exhibit hall presentations open tomorrow at 8 Central Time. Now, If you have an all access pass hub, so you paid for the upgrade, when you are in the free hub, scroll down a little bit and there's like a big orange bar and it says, take me to my all access pass. And you're going to click there. If you still have trouble with the all access pass, send us an email, support@autismlittlelearners.com, and we can help you there. Otherwise, the free hub is there. We've put it in the chat for you so that you can go ahead and click. Melissa and Doug discount code. You have to kind of pay attention to what it is that you're purchasing. I don't think the code is available on all of the bundles that they have. I think it's available on individual products. So if it's a bundle, it might not work. There was a caveat for that they explain in their resource hub. So just kind of take note of that to see what it is. Okay, so somebody else, I know it's probably been asked and answered, but that's what we're here for, Linda. Yes, you can rewatch the Make and Take later tonight. The welcome call and this call with Abby and the Make and Take in the All Access Pass Hub. The replays will be available until June 30th, 2027. In the free hub, they are available for the 24 hours. So you will have, until tomorrow night to be able to catch it and watch it. So all of the presentations themselves open up tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central Time. Refresh your page if it's after that and it shows day one coming soon. Just refresh the page because sometimes it takes a few minutes to catch up. Somebody's obsessed with my amazing green plants. So I was a nature-based educator for 26 years before I retired from the classroom, and they all came home with me. So they're just living their best life here in my office. So thank you. So videos tomorrow available all day. Yes. If you are in the free hub, the videos on day one open at 8 a.m. Central Time. They will stay open until 8 a.m. Central Time on Tuesday. When they close, Tuesday's videos will then open, and same thing for Wednesday. If you are in the All Access Pass Hub, they are available for a year. That's one of the reasons that people upgrade to the All Access Pass, so that they have access for an entire year to be able to catch the presentations whenever. But otherwise, yes, in the free hub, each day's presentations are available for 24 hours. At 8 a.m., we are not live tomorrow at 8 a.m. At 8 a.m., the presentations themselves open. Those presentations are pre-recorded. If you have a all access pass, you can come at 2 p.m. Shauna, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. At 2 p.m., there will be a live speaker conversation where you can speak to the presenters for the day live. Otherwise, everything is pre-recorded. And then for free people, 11 a.m. in the Facebook group every day, Shauna's going to be going live and giving away prizes. Tonight's Make and Take was live for free people. And Wednesday, Tara is going live for everybody, free ticket holders as well. Tell me again, Tara, what's the title?
7 engaging activities. You're going to see videos and real pictures to show you exactly what you can make that are engaging for students with high support needs. And I think it's, Tina, my Make and Takes are at 2 every day.
Okay, thank you.
Right? Is that right?
Yes, the Make and Takes are at 2 every day, and at 4 o'clock, right?
Yeah. And maybe we can I think we'll have some prompts once I do the Make and Take tonight, then yes. I could show them what we're going to make on those other days, and we can verify all the times.
Michelle, I am very familiar with Sally. She is actually one of the ladies that I followed to start my outdoor classroom and nature-based regio. And Teacher Tom. I don't know if any of
Teacher Tom is here.
Teacher Tom is here, and I've been fangirling for like a month. So super excited about Teacher Tom. Quizzes for CEUs. Tara, those will be with the certificates, correct?
Yes, you will find them when it's time.
Yes. So once everything opens and the presentation is live, then the quiz will also be live for the CEUs. And again, certificates and CEUs are for all access pass holders.
Yeah. And Dr. Angeline, who's one of our speakers, she said her biggest tip is to add the calendar and the time show up for you in your time zone. So there's a spot where you can like add the calendar. But okay. Are you Tina?
One last one. Holly is saying for the sessions in between pre-recorded, can you send an email with the links? So the issue with sending an email is your email can be filtered on the back end when we're sending that many. So the best way to find the links to everything is to go into your actual hub, and underneath any of the things that you want to attend, it has the link directly there for you. It's the YouTube link and everything. So going to your hub is going to be the best place to get started.
Yeah. And we are here to answer all these questions in the Facebook group and also via email. And I can stay on at the end to answer some more too, if needed.
Okay. Awesome.
So let's get into the make and take. I'm so excited. All right. I'll bring you back at the end, Tina.
Okay.
All right. All right, you guys, what did you think of Abby? She's incredible. Okay, let me get all this stuff off the screen. If you're okay with it, I'm going to keep this QR code up at the top. That gets you into your free hub. So anything I talk about, like these materials, just use that and get into the free hub. Yeah, Abby and Christine, amazing. So grateful. Okay, let's talk about adapted books. Tell me in the comments, do you use adapted books? Or are you like, I used to use them, but I haven't for a while, or I've never used an adapted book? These are the most engaging thing that I have used with students. So we're going to do a make and take. You have materials available for you in your hub, but if you don't have them downloaded right now, it's okay. You can do it after we're done. Let's just talk this through and I'll show you how I make them and a little bit of how we use them. And I'll have some videos from a classroom. Okay. So what are adapted books? Well, we're creating pictures that we Velcro right into the book, onto the pages, so that it becomes hands-on. For a lot of our students, I have felt sometimes we can sound like Charlie Brown's teacher, right? We're just talking and we're reading a book, and it just can sound like wah, wah, wah. Especially for kids who are having trouble processing verbal language, we need to make these books more interactive, and so they can become hands-on. And so when I'm saying, like, you see all these little pictures, we're literally Velcroing pictures into books. And I'll show you this one up close in just a bit. So it gives busy hands something to do. It creates a predictable routine, the same format every time, even if it's a different book, which increases that active engagement. And what do we want at school? We want kids to be actively engaged. We want them to be doing. We want them to be learning. And also mixing in the breaks when needed. We don't want to force learning. We want to be doing things that really lend themselves to their strengths and their learning style. I prefer to use board books because they're sturdy and they hold up better over time. It is really hard with paper books to like pull pictures off of a page with Velcro. Okay. Oof. I'm going to need my glasses to read this. Let me see if I can increase the size. This is something I wanted to share with you because this is literally an email I got from a parent about 5 years ago. Her son was in my class. He was 3 turning 4. And she had said, I've never gotten to just hold my child and read to him because he takes the book and he flips it, and runs away. Or he goes through the pages like so fast, boom, 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 doesn't even give you a chance to read. And I said, well, let's try some adapted books. I think he might be really interested in them, right? It gives that visual piece. It gives more structure, like each page, we're going to do this. And it keeps the hands busy. So I'm going to read this to you. She said, Tara, I thought I should share what happened today at home. I used one of the resources you gave me from our fall conference, Moo Ba La La La. It was the adapted book. She said, I was amazed because he knew exactly what he was supposed to do with all of the individual picture cards, matching them to each page, and he did it correctly with no help. In addition to that, the most amazing part for me was that he let me read the whole book to him without interruption or frustration. He was sitting right next to me, calmly and quietly listening to me reading and engaging in the activity. He had never done that before. He didn't know what to do with his favorite books before. He just turned the pages really quick and done. I've never been able to read any book to him, even if I tried, until today. I've noticed that he started being interested in a variety of books now lately, and he's even asking me to read some books to him. It never happened before. He doesn't ask me verbally. He hands me his favorite book, and he looks at me waiting, like he's waiting for something. I didn't notice it at first, what he was trying to tell me, but after he did the same thing a few more times, I realized, oh, you're asking me to read this book to you. Hello, multimodal communication. And then she said, I started reading it. I saw a big smile on his face. As I read, he turned the pages for me because he memorizes what the page says by watching YouTube over and over. And she said, I also used the cue card accompanying the pictures that for Moo Ba La La La, when I read it to him, I chose Play-Doh because he has some sensory issues and doesn't like to touch the sticky, messy stuff. So I'm trying to get him used to the texture of Play-Doh. He usually doesn't like to touch it, but he had no problem today pressing the small ball of Play-Doh onto each of the cue cards. And she was just so happy. She said it was great to see. And she said, I'm so thankful for everything you're doing for him at school. And I really see that he's improved a lot and learning a lot. He's excited and he's growing. And anyway, she wanted to let me know. And it just brought me to tears because a mom being able to read to her child for the first time, something she's been wanting to do, it was everything. It was everything for her relationship-wise with her son. And that's the power of adapted books. Okay. So besides that, why do we use them? Well, it makes reading accessible. A book redesigned so a child does something with it and doesn't just have to listen to the auditory, right? Accessible means the child can get in, participate, succeed no matter what level they're at with reading or with books. And I'm looking over here, that mom I was talking about. I always make these cards that go with the books so that, you can point to it. It says, I see, and you can point to the vocabulary in the book, but you can also use it as like a Play-Doh smash mat. Let me know in the comments, what else would you do? If you have a child that's a little older, they could cross off or circle with a dry erase marker. There's like so many different things that you could do just with this little card that goes with the book. One of the other things too is like you can make 2 copies of this and make a little matching activity with Velcro. I don't know. I love coming up with ideas, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through these steps of exactly how you adapt a book. You choose a book. So we have Pete the Kitty's First Day of School. This is one that you're getting the visuals to, right? You print the pictures. Now, I have an adapted book library that's part of our membership, and it has visuals for hundreds of board books. So we may have some members here. Tell us if you're a member and you use the adapted book library. So I'm going to just pull myself up fully on the screen for a minute so I can show you all this stuff. Okay, so Pete the Kitty, then you will get pages to print and laminate that will have pictures. And this is for a different book, but you cut these out. Okay, so you get a page or 2, you'll cut them out, and then you seriously simply just put a piece of Velcro on the book and do that. Okay. So I try to have like one for each page because it really keeps kids interested and engaged and actively learning. And you can start with, if they love The Very Hungry Caterpillar, start with that book, right? Get that engagement and that excitement for something they already love. And then as you start to introduce more books, they start to know and understand what to do, right? So the inboard books, it really does work okay to just put the Velcro down. Sometimes we'll put a little packing tape underneath it if it's a book where the Velcro doesn't seem to be sticking. It happens once in a while with like shinier board books, but like this one is just totally fine. You can in and out, in and out. So a lot of times then I would take all these pictures out and have them on the table. And you know how some kids would love to look through a pile of pictures and like find the right one. Okay. Some kids learn that way. Some kids, that's going to be too much. And you might just want to hand them the next one to put in and model without expectation. So if this was the one that I had on the counter or on the table and it was the next one, I'd say, now it's time to head out the door. And let's say my student is not one that's going to, at this point, reach, pick it up, put it in. So I might be like, door, and I put it in. Think of the term modeling without expectation, but we're doing that with this too. We're showing, we're narrating. And then eventually kids start to get it. So, the next day I might be able to put this in his hand and maybe he's going to move it over there. So you just have to move with the kid where they're at on that day. So some days I might have Jimmy who can do this whole book on his own. And then another day, Jimmy is tired or dysregulated, and he is only, like hanging out with me, and I'm going to put it in and model. So that is one thing. You also get like sheets like this. This goes with the other book. So this is A Day at School. This is the other one you get. It's a Very Hungry Caterpillar book. And so you have these, it says flannel board pieces. And that's where you can cut all of these out, put a piece of Velcro on the back or magnetic piece if you have a magnetic whiteboard. And it's good for retelling. It's good for vocabulary. You'll see it used in a picture with just a piece of tape on the back from Laura's classroom. So you'll get these with the books. So you have the pictures that go in the book. You have the cue card that you can use as a Play-Doh splash mat. Oh, here's the Pete the Kitty one. And then you have the flannel board pieces. And then the other thing you get are these visual art projects that I create. And I have 2 to go with each book. So you can see down the side here, it says markers, cap off, color, cap on, all done. Super simple directions, visual directions that are right on the project so that you don't have to fumble around with a million different visuals everywhere, right? And then at the top, there's 2 sentences. One says, like this one says, I colored a kitty. And this one says, look, it's a bus. But it's so fun because it relates back to the book that you're reading, right? So let me know in the comments, does this look like something you could do with your students or your child and that your team could do along with you and feel comfortable doing it using these? Okay, so let's see. The other one then is A Day at School. And of course, like we all love The Very Hungry Caterpillar. So, I have this book you can team them together. And so again, you have the card with the Play-Doh smash mat, you have the flannel board pieces, and then you guys, let me know in the comments, have you gone and watched Mim Jenkinson's mini training on how to make stickers? So she's in our exhibit hall. She's one of our silver sponsors, and she has an 8-minute training on how to make your own stickers. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to make stickers based on her little training. And I bought some sticker paper. and it's in our Amazon shop. We can get that to you later. But I decided to take these mini Magnetiles. They're from like the travel set, the Magnetiles. And I took the pictures that I give you guys to go in here. So like, here, we'll do this one, music. I printed those off onto sticker paper, and they are the exact right size for these smaller travel Magnetiles. So there it is. There's music. And so then you can do like make a fringe board on the table where you have all of these. You can do different things with the vocabulary. So this is something brand new. Like I just discovered this. It's not something I've taught before, but this is amazing. So if you want to go to BIM's little training, it's available now in the exhibit hall. So you would go see the QR code, scan that. You're in the free hub. Don't do it right now. Do it after. You got to stay and watch the rest of this. But then you can go and watch her training. It's in the exhibit hall under the Mim Jenkinson table. And we'll be talking more about that. So don't worry, you're not going to miss it. But the cool thing is when all of this stuff, it's so creative. I love sharing this stuff with you because it's super fun to create. But then you start thinking outside the box. Okay. So now, okay, yes, we're talking adapted books tonight, right? But what else could we add to it? We have the Play-Doh mat, Smash Mat. We have the visual art projects. We have the flannel board. Like, how can we make this into our classrooms something we can use, for more than one day reading a book, right? So I made this because Hungry Caterpillar, hello, we know Pringles can. We know the Hungry Caterpillar eats things, right? So then I took the visuals from the Hungry Caterpillar, so all of the foods, and I put those on here. And so then it's so fun because if I could show you it, I'll make a video of it. Laying on the table, they're all laying next to each other, and it's seriously like a fringe communication board. And then you can have the child pick, or you can pick and model and be like, and they click. I mean, just the sensory piece, they click and come apart. Okay, then he ate a strawberry. And then you can put it in here and listen to this clink for our sensory sound lovers. We can shake it, and it's so satisfying. It actually sticks in there because it's magnetic. Anyway, I wanted to show you this because on, I don't remember which day, Tuesday or Wednesday, Tuesday, we're doing a put-in make and take. It's part of the All Access Pass. We're going to be talking about put-ins, and that's when I showed this to Abby. I'm going to teach you how to make this, and this is to go with an adapted book. So if you come on Tuesday, you'll also get the pictures that go in this book to adapt it, 5 little monkeys sitting in a tree. And then we will make this out of a dish pod container, and we can act it out while we're doing that story. And imagine this at group time, at circle time. Give each child a monkey, and then they come up, or you come to them and put it in. It's so amazing. So, and you will see in Magnetiles tent, they're one of our sponsors, gold sponsors, in the exhibit hall, you will see that they have links to their store. And so these are like the travel set of Magnetiles. And the stickers, if you ever needed to take them off, they peel off just fine. So we can talk about this more in the Facebook group. And if you need links to anything, I'll get them to you. But I'm just so excited about all the things we have coming together to kind of build out these themes in like a fun, hands-on way. Okay. So I'm going to pull this back up. So you print the pictures, you laminate and cut them out, place the Velcro on the back of the pictures and the Velcro on the book, put them in, which is what you saw. Done. I mean, you guys, does that sound easy enough? And okay, yes. Okay, so we have Ginny, I'm a member and I use the adapted book library. So this is something you don't have to go in and be like, oh, I have to download every one and make every one. Don't overwhelm yourself. Start with one each month or 2 books each month and build over time, and start with ones that you know your students love the most, or ones that you know you could kind of link with other teaching activities that you have, right? Yeah. Magna tiles. Who would have thought Magna tiles with the stickers? Like when I had this on my table at home today, I was so excited. I sent my team a video. I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, you have to see this. I'm so excited. So yeah, I will show you more about that in the Make and Takes later in the week. So if you do have a free ticket and you want to join us for the other Make and Takes, definitely upgrade to that all access pass. Okay. Now, let's show you some examples. Okay, this is what making the Pete the Cat looked like, but like real fast version. Okay, let's see if I can get this video up. There's no sound, don't worry. Sometimes I'll have my niece and nephew over and they'll help me make adapted books. Or Lori on my team, she comes over, she's made a bunch of adapted books too. And my daughter, who's 28, and her daughter, who's the same age, they both like to color for us because they say it's very calming and relaxing. Okay, so here are some things members have made. So Amanda, this was a great idea. Most of my books come from the public library and I print and laminate the pieces. And instead of putting them in the books, I have them on the table to get the students to choose and interact with the visuals, and sometimes for retelling. So that's a great idea. If you're like, I don't have a budget for very many books, you could do that and just actually not put them in the book, right? Laura Wing, you're going to see this example on the right in action in a video in just a minute here. We have Mo in the snow. So with the adapted book library, which is within the membership, you get all of this for like all these different themes. Each theme has at least 6 books. So this is the one that this is your homework. I want you to do what you can to make some or all of this. Print out the pieces. Whatever you do, take a picture of it, and you can, well, first post it in the Facebook group. Okay, in the Summit Facebook group. Post it there, be like, this is what I made. It could even just be a picture of you with the book that you got and you're going to work on it. And then you can take a screenshot of that and upload it to be entered to win a prize. By the way, anyone with the All Access Pass gets double entries for their prize submissions. And here again is the Summit Hub, but I want to show you some videos. Let me go back. Here we go. Okay, here we go. This is a little guy. He's so little still, and his mom said adapted books got him chattering about it and really looking at the vocabulary. It's so sweet.
Brown bear, what do you see? I see a frog.
I see frog.
Yay, looking at me.
Look at me.
I love that, echolalia. Look at me. Okay, so now this is in Laura's classroom. Laura is one of our members, and she's one of our member ambassadors who helps welcome and take new people under their wing. Lori and we got so lucky. She said yes to us coming and visiting her classroom because she set it up the way that I recommend. And she's early elementary, and her kids are actually, this group is moving on to like middle elementary after this year. But we got to see so many of these things in action, and their parents were like, yes, please take videos, teach other people. So I think this is really important, seeing how this is happening in the classroom. And so this one is one-on-one. Laura's one-on-one with this child, and they are going through an adapted book together.
Okay, what does giant cloud turn into? He turned into a Baba. And next he turned into a
Airplane. Eastern fire airplane.
Yes, you do fly on an airplane. Next, he turned into a
Shark.
One more. Good job.
Then, do you remember what he turned into next?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think he turned into? Pick one. What do you think? Which one do you think he turned into next? Oh, okay, let's see. Look. Oh, what did he turn into next?
Not tree.
A tree.
This is not cloud.
Not yet.
I think he was getting ready for the clown. So what I love about that is you could see the materials, like you can use them however works for you. So she had another set and they put them up in this little chart, which I think was genius and such a great idea. Okay, now our last video is, I love this because this is a real classroom. You're going to hear it. You're going to see the movement. But this is Laura, and it's spliced together because the group was like 8 minutes or something like that, or the portion that I videoed. So it's spliced together. And this is going to show her reading a book in front of the class. And then she has, remember those bigger pieces, that I call the flannel board pieces, like this, right? So you could use Velcro on it for flannel. She has some tape on the back and she goes around and gives each student one that they can bring up when it's time. So take a look at this. I think you're gonna really love this video. And this one's about 2.5 minutes.
Little cloud trailed behind. The clouds pushed upward and away. Little cloud pushed downward and touched the tops of the houses and trees.
Down.
The clouds moved out of sight. Little cloud changed into a giant cloud.
Big cloud.
Little cloud changed into a sheep.
Who has the sheep? Who has the sheep?
Sheep right there.
Good job. Easton has the sheep. Easton, good job.
Little cloud changed into an airplane.
Jax, airplane, good job. Who has the shark? Who has the shark? Lucas. He has the shark. He has it. Look. You have the shark? Good job, buddy. Yay. Thank you. Good job, bud. Shark. Lucas had the shark. Who has 2 trees? He has 2 trees. Good job. Good job. Who has the rabbit? Milo. Milo, go put the rabbit. Milo has the. It's okay. I'll bring him to you. Milo. Yay! Good job. Push. Good job, buddy. Milo has a rabbit. He has a rabbit. Who has the clown? Frankie has the clown. Do you want to come here or do you want me to go there? I can come there. Here. Frankie.
Frankie's so excited.
Frankie's clown.
Good job.
Frankie has the clown. He has the clown.
Okay, you guys, tell me, what did you see there? What did you love? I see it coming in. Of course, first of all, the chairs. She said those were new this year because the boys were getting bigger and they had to get some chairs that were bigger and more accommodating. But what Lori and I saw when we were there, it was those chairs were so comforting for them and regulating. It was amazing. Now, I want to tell you what I saw Laura do that I think is top notch, incredible. Some students knew that they had the animal, so like the sheep, and got up on their own and went and put it on the board. Then other kids, she met them where they're at. So maybe there's one student every time that getting them to get up and move is either one, going to be dysregulating for them, or two, they're going to see something else they want to do and leave the area. So this was really intuitive of Laura to go and bring it to him. We can do this with visual schedules. We could do it with activities at group like this. She brought it to him and she did it with a couple kids. And there might be kids where 4 days out of the week, they can go up and put the picture on. And then there's a day where you just know, I'm going to bring it to him. We're not going to get a power struggle over getting up and going up there. I just thought that was like chef's kiss. Let me know what you guys think. And then there was the modeling of the core board. And she wasn't trying to model like something from every single sentence or every word. She kept it simple. And this is what I encourage you to do and what we're going to talk about when we talk about low-tech AAC, like on a big board like that. On Wednesday, we're going to talk about how to keep it simpler for yourself and take that burden off of you of feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to model, or I feel like I have to model every word. And then I just can't, my brain gets me stuck, right? I just don't even know what to do or where to start. So we're going to help you get over that too. Okay. I love this. Do you want to see more at some point from Laura's class? I just think it's so great to see in context like this of different ways, because yes, we can make an adapted book, but seeing it in action in different ways, I think is really, really helpful. And this book is Little Cloud. It's called Little Cloud. And it is, so what the pictures she was using with it are from our adapted book library. So, okay. The Abby part went way, way longer. And so we're keeping this short and sweet. I think you saw what is the best thing to see. But if you want to participate in the rest of the make and take sessions, the other 3 will be a little bit longer, not run on, but a little bit longer. And those are part of the All Access Pass. So you can always upgrade to that. You just go to this free hub and then you'll see a button in there where you can upgrade. And that's what we're going to make. I'm going to give you the visual for the 5 little monkeys. You're going to get this little core board, like a regular size and then a little one. And do you see that big one in the background there? Let me know in the comments. Do you see the big classroom one? I had that printed from my core board. I had it special file made so that it didn't get pixely. And I printed it to FedEx on foam board. And you guys, I can like move it around. It's sturdy. It's incredible. In the make and take for the AAC on Wednesday for low tech AAC, I'm giving you that file. Usually it's only available in the membership, but I'm giving you that file so that if you wanted to print it at somewhere like FedEx, you could. And then I'm going to give you the caterpillar face to make that one with like a Pringles can. Oh, well, here you go. All Access Pass. If you wanted to upgrade, you could go to autismlittlelearners.com/upgrade and the QR code. Tina, can I bring you on stage? Okay. I don't want to grab her if she's not ready. She's like,
no, I'm good. I'm good. Okay.
So All Access Pass. We have
so All Access
prizes.
Yes, and you mentioned the one thing that I had a note about, which was the large file for the AAC core board. So that is if you upgrade to the All Access Pass, it is in the make and take files for the low tech AAC make and take day. We did see a few other questions, so I just wanted to kind of pop those out. People who have upgraded, there are additional files and resources from the speakers. They are not in the exhibit hall. They're under speaker bonuses. So you just kind of have to scroll down the page, that main homepage a little bit further, and it says speaker bonuses, and that's where you're going to find all of those things. Specifically, Tara, they were asking about the AAC cue cards for routines and play. They had to do that.
Okay. Yeah, they're going to love those. I'll talk about more of those more on Wednesday also at the Make and Take.
Yes. But so yes, if you have the upgrade already, speaker bonuses are going to be under the tab that says speaker bonuses, different from the exhibit hall. There are additional resources inside of the exhibit hall as well. So there's resources everywhere for everybody. Whether you have the free hub or the all access pass hub, the speaker bonuses specifically are for all access pass, but the exhibit hall has a ton of freebies for people. Okay.
Yeah, we've got you covered. We've got you covered.
Yes. You just got to click around kind of, you know, it's one of those things, it can be overwhelming, but just go and just start clicking on all the links and you'll see what's there for you.
So many goodies. Yeah.
Are we ready?
We are ready. So we talked about, you heard me talk about the adapted book library. It's this little subset. We do have a subscription available, subscription model to just the adapted book library. But when people become like the full member, when we're saying first month free of the membership, you automatically get the adapted book library. So that's the best way to go. But tonight we are giving away, how many, Tina?
5.
5 subscriptions to just the adapted book library piece. So who's ready?
I'm super excited. So, and it is a monthly or an annual subscription. We are giving away 5 annual subscriptions for the adapted book library. So 5 people will be able to be inside of that library for the next year. All of the information, I'm going to go ahead and say the names, but then all of the information about who won the prizes will be in the prize headquarters as well, which is at the very top of your Summit hub. So if you missed your name or want to see who won what, you can go in there as well and the names will be attached. So drum roll, please. Da, 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 da. Our 5 annual adapted book library new members are Robin Morey, Lena Henley, Cheryl Wire, Ellen Dennert, and Joan Torres. Congratulations.
Yay! I'm so excited. Oh, this is so fun.
I wanted to say to everybody, keep sharing, keep doing your bingos, keep being in the Facebook group, keep commenting in the YouTube things, because we are giving away so many amazing things. If you have not visited the prize headquarters, you need to go check it out because it's incredible.
Yes. And tomorrow at 11 a.m., Shauna on our team is going live to announce the prizes for tomorrow. And she'll be doing that every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So between that, if you miss that, and sometimes it's hard to find replays on Facebook, all you need to do is go to that prize headquarters that Tina's talking about, little menu at the top of the hub, but we'll keep reminding you. Now, I saw someone, did you see me pull it up? Someone said, I got the membership. So let's say you did not win the adapted book library. Bummer, bummer, bummer. However, if you want access to it tonight, join the membership here. You get your first month free. Then it automatically rolls over into a continued subscription, but you can cancel at any time. But you could go in and start to explore now, right, Tina? They could go and say, I'm teaching summer school next week. I want a certain summer themed book. Yes. And could have an adapted book ready to go by Monday.
So if you do, and I see Abby is asking, what subscription does the adapted book library come with? That is the full membership, includes the adapted book library. If you choose to get in for your free month, when you get your welcome email and you get in to the membership itself on the homepage of the hub, also a hub, different hub. Again, it's just your one stop for everything. On the homepage of that hub, there are 2 tabs that I want to bring your attention to. One is the adapted book library, and that's going to take you directly to all the resources for that. The second, actually 3, the second tab is downloadable resources. That is Tara's entire TPT store, minus boom cards, because I have to say it like that because otherwise people ask. But it is over 600 resources in the downloads tab. And then the third tab I want to bring your attention to on the membership specifically, this is different than the summit, is the high support needs curriculum tab. That is all separate. It's in there, it's in the membership, but it's in its own, it lives in its own like its own page inside of the membership as well. So again, I just want to say that because I think I talked about that too quickly. The membership is different than the summit. The all access pass is not the same thing as the free month in the membership. You want to talk about that just a little bit?
Yeah. So the summit is this once a year, 3 days, 4 days, and then it ends. And the all access pass, then you have access to the things in this summit, all these presentations for a year. But a lot of people find, okay, the summit's done. I want continued support. I want coaching calls so I can really implement these things that I'm learning. And so that's what the membership is for. Think of it like Netflix. Like you can go in, you can watch what you want. Netflix doesn't have downloadable resources to help you in the classroom, but I do. So you can download resources, you can grab an adapted book, you can go, okay, I'm doing a caterpillar theme. I'm going to grab color sorting activity that has to do with caterpillars. So think of everything in my TPT store. You can go through and like mix and match. So that's the membership. That's like the main thing. And inside the membership, you get access to the adapted book library at no additional cost. Now, we said this earlier, Tina, I want everyone to know that I haven't changed the price of the membership in like over 4 years. It might've been 5. And so the membership price is going up. Right now it's $30 per month. But it is going up to 35, I think, or even a little more. I can't remember exactly, on August 1st. And so this is the time to lock in. So if you do your first month free and you're like, I love this, I want to stay, you are automatically locked into $30 a month and it will not go up for you as long as you're active member.
Okay, one other comment that I'm seeing is tomorrow free. So again, speaking separately about the membership that Tara's talking about right now, the summit, yes, you can join the summit every day in the free hub. Shauna, if you would drop that link one more time, that would be fantastic. The free hub every morning will open the day's presentations, and you will be able to get there's like 8 to 10 presentations, I think, each day. You have 24 hours to watch those for free. And then the next day, the second set of presentations will open. And then the third day, the third set of presentations. So about 30 presentations over the next 3 days. Those can all be watched for free. You have 24 hours to watch them. Tara's closing call is also free. That is where she's talking about the 7 engaging activities for high support needs students. That's all of that is free, and all the links to everything that you have access to in the free hub are right there on that homepage of the free hub. The difference between the free hub and the all access hub is the length of time and some of the extras, but the length of time is the biggest thing. With the all access pass, you get a year.
Yeah. And I think those of you that have questions, I'm willing to stay on a little bit longer. We can probably like 10 minutes more, Tina. Does that sound good? Where we can just rapid fire, and so anyone else is welcome to go and get your beauty sleep. And thank you for being here for Abby and this.
The one that I'm seeing a few of them, questions about the big AAC core board, and then also questions about CEUs.
Okay. CEUs. So certificates of completion, general, they are part of the All Access Pass only. And when you are in there, when the presentations open tomorrow, you will see a button to click and you will take a quiz for all of these pre-recorded ones. You'll take a quiz. Once you pass your quiz, and you guys, don't stress. Quizzes are going to be okay. No test anxiety. You got this. But you take your quiz, and this is different from last year, but it helps us to know who is, engaging and taking. It helps us deliver the certificate of completion to you with your name on it, because we heard that the last 2 years. We would give blank certificates of completion without your name on it. And a lot of people said, oh, we have to have our name typed in. So you are going to have that delivered to you after you finish your quiz. Now, if you are an SLP, a speech language pathologist, and you clicked add on for $10, ASHA CUs, we have very, very specific and rigid reporting that we have to do to them monthly. So when you watch a quiz, so you've been tagged in the hub. Now this is like lots of what Shauna calls beep, bop, boops. She does all this zap, zap, beep, bop, boop, making this happen. When you take a quiz as an SLP, only if you've added on the ASHA CUs for $10, you will take the quiz and you'll put in info, like all the info that it asks for, put that all in there, and it will beep, bop, boop, and send you a certificate, like the general certificate of completion. So you have that for your records with your name on it. And then it will send your hours to ASHA at the end of every month. So let's say, this is why the All Access Pass is great, because that's where you can get these ASHA CEU add-ons. You have then through June 30th of 2027 to do this. And so you could watch 3 each month, and you get some reported this year, some reported next year. You can spread it out. Same with the general certificates of completion too, you guys. There's no need to hurry through. You'll have this time. You'll still get the certificates as you finish each presentation, right? Okay, the big core board, I'm looking at mine now. That is available in the All Access Pass under your materials for Make and Take. So if you have a free ticket and you click Make and Take, you get the stuff from tonight, the stuff that goes in these books that I showed you. If you have the All Access Pass, when you open up Make and Take materials, you'll see each day, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The file says poster size core board, and it's in that Wednesday Make and Take materials.
Yes. Okay, I see another one.
Okay.
And if you want to, I can answer this one if you want me to.
Yeah, please.
So I have the adapted board book bundle from TPT. Will it ever become a growing bundle? And the answer to that is no. We have all of those extra resources, like tonight's back to school books and the Make and Take books. Those are all part of the adapted book library subscription. So the TPT bundle is not a growing bundle. It basically, the adapted book library is the growing piece.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And then someone said the large core board file is accessible to all if we attend the Wednesday call or just All Access Pass. So tonight was the only Make and Take that was available to everybody with a free ticket. The rest of the Make and Takes at 2:00 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are only available to watch live and replay for All Access Pass holders. I hope that.
How do you get the child play cards? Those were the extras.
Tina, can I go grab some while you're talking?
Yes,
about that?
yes.
Okay.
So the child play cards were what we call a bump. They were part of an All Access Pass. If you did not grab them and want them, you can send us an email, support@autismlittlelearners.com, and we can help you out there. Is the date of completion, the day we take the exam, is different than we do the training? Shauna, will you answer that question for me in the comments? So we were talking about the play cards. So Tara's going to show you what those look like and what they are.
I'm going to take this off. Okay, so the reason that we created these, and these are brand new, tell me in the comments, do you ever have maybe substitutes that come in that you're trying to tell them like how to play with kids, but they don't really know how to play with kids, and especially our autistic kids who maybe are not playing in a way that they're used to seeing or encouraging, or people that just don't have that play bug in them, right? Or sometimes a paraprofessional here and there, or another part of the team. I mean, it's no one in particular, it's just certain personalities. But anyway, so let's say, how would you feel as a teacher if you could be like, all right, you're going to play with Johnny with the bus today. We're going to go over here and we're going to do that. So here it has things like, it says, before you play, watch how the child interacts with the bus and the people. They may enjoy pushing it back and forth, loading the passengers, opening and closing the doors, or making stops. And then it says, try this. Pick up the passengers and take them for a ride. Stop at school or the park and the grocery store. Favorite destination. Let people get on and off the bus. Sing Wheels on the Bus. Take animals to the zoo. So put animals in there, trying to get outside the box. Drive dolls to school. Have the bus get stuck. Work on getting it out. So this is like, can you see these as being helpful? Sometimes it can just give people, like, in the moment, something to think about that they can do. And then quick tips like repetition is okay. You could sit there and do the bumpy ride for 15 minutes with a kid if they're loving it and they're giggling. Focus on connection and that shared enjoyment, and join in on what they're doing before adding your ideas, right? So,
and how many are there?
Brand new. I think there's, I have to count. I have 24 or something.
It's 30. There's 30.
Well, I made more than I thought.
There's 30 of them. And so they're like 30, like, toy play activities that teachers would typically, or families, therapists would typically have in the classroom or space.
While Tina's talking, I'm just going to be like Vanna White.
Yes.
The different.
Okay. So one other thing that I see somebody's asking, is the pass $30 a month, but the first month is free? So two separate things. The full membership is $30 a month. That includes the adaptive book library, the high support needs curriculum, Tara's TBT store, all the training, all the coaching, all the things. That is $30 a month. The first month is free when you use the link. The all access pass is separate. That is for the summit. It is a one-time charge for the summit. It actually, the price increases tonight at $11.59. And so right now is the early bird pricing for that. With that, you get everything in the all access pass of the Summit Hub, different than the membership, but you get the whole Summit Hub, make and takes and all of that for a year. So that access, that one-time cost of, I think it's $77 right now, is good until June 30th, 2027, because we will have a new summit next year with all brand new information, presentations, resources, all of that. So two separate things. The $30 a month is an ongoing membership. You can cancel it at any time. The first month is free with that link. The all access pass is a one-time charge for the next 12 months. And that right now is $77. The price of that increases tonight at $11.59.
Tina, I'm going to grab the link to the cards for the checkout, because people are asking. And Tina worked on these with me, and we made them this summer, and it was super fun to make, because we were thinking, okay, if someone is not used to being with little kids, what would they need to know? Or what would what would they get stuck on? They would get stuck on like, okay, we put the people in the bus and we push it.
So Monica, they are not inside of the membership. There are very few things that are not inside of the membership. She said she bought them when she got her all access pass. They are one of the few things that is not inside of the membership. So you did a good thing by grabbing that.
Yeah.
Can you purchase the adapted book library without the membership? Yes, you can. The adapted book library is its own subscription, Holly. If you
email us, probably, right?
Yeah, send us an email, support@autismlittlelearners.com, and we can get you where you need to be for that.
Oh, yeah. Someone said, could you show us what's inside the membership? We would love to. Do you think we should add this on to,
either that or maybe...
Or a video. I'll put a video in the Facebook group.
I was going to say, if you do a video walkthrough, then they can watch it when they're ready.
Jot it down.
I also saw somebody asking if there would be a link to the prize giveaways at 11 a.m. each morning. The link is in your hub, but it will redirect you to the Facebook group. So Shauna will be going live in the Facebook group, but there is a link in the hub. So you just go there and click on it, and it'll take you to the Facebook community.
Okay.
No, the membership and the adapted book library, Laura, are for educators and or parents. There are tons of resources in both places that are for educators, parents, and therapists.
Okay, quick overview. The cue cards, what are they? They are cue cards to show people that maybe are around you or on your staff or that aren't quite sure what to do. If you say, okay, can you go play? He loves the bus. Can you go play with him? Then you will hand them the card about the bus, and it gives ideas. And especially with autism focus, like if they repeat over and over, it's okay. Doors open, doors close. You can join in with what they're doing. And so we have 30 cards. And you could put them on a ring too, and then just take them out when you need them.
These cards are not part of the All Access Pass. They are an additional charge. There are, however, inside of the All Access Pass, they're different, but inside of the All Access Pass speaker bonuses, Tara has the AAC cue cards. So they are different, but though the cue cards, AAC cue cards, are part of the All Access Pass.
Okay. Also, I think I should note this too, because I know a lot of you, as I was in the classroom too, like we need our certificates of completion. And inside the membership, which is the ongoing access to my whole TPT store in the membership hub. So this is not Summit, this is membership. You do get certificates of completion for every training that we do. And you have the ability to use those to apply for affordable graduate credit if you wanted to. And, this is like going down a rabbit hole, but just a couple things if people were like, oh gosh, I want to move up on the pay scale. I need some grad credit. That's an option too.
Okay, so they're correcting me. Thank you, because we added to them. The cue cards contain 40 cards. So see, thank you, because it's been a long summer.
And we had a set, and then we kept adding. Well, we need this theme. We need that theme. We need, we can.
At least that's a better direction than I said 30 and there were only 5, right? Like
totally.
It is.
Totally.
It is what it is. There was something.
Oh, yeah.
So no, the cue cards are an additional.
They were an add-on.
They are an add-on. If you look in the comments here, Autism Little Learners, Shauna has put the link, and you can click the link and go grab them if that's something that you're interested in.
There's so many things that are part of the All Access Pass, but this one was not. This was an additional. When you sign up for the All Access Pass, you're offered this and ASHA CEUs for SLPs.
Somebody says, can you please share the membership link with free one more time?
Oh, of course.
I can't remember which.
autismlittlelearners.com/free month.
Free month.
And then there's the cue card too. So, we would love to have you. We have so many amazing teachers in there, like Laura. And, Tina, we forgot to tell them, Laura is going to join us at our coaching call in August we're going to play videos from her classroom, and she's going to talk us through like different things she does in different parts of her day in classroom. So it's a really great thing kicking off the school year to get new ideas. But actually, if you really related to seeing the videos of her at group time, doing that adapted book, coming to that coaching call would be really, really great for you.
So, Brandy, no, the play cards are not included in the membership. There's very few things that are not included in the membership, like maybe 4 or 5 resources, but the play cards are one of them. And then somebody else asked if the cost of the cue cards is going up at midnight. No, the cost of the all access pass is going up. The cue cards will stay the same price.
Yeah. Let's see. Some of these, if they're very specific, probably need to email us, support@autismlittlelearners.com.
Yes.
Right?
If you have a question that we didn't answer or that is like pretty specific, support@autismlittlelearners.com. We can help you there.
Yeah. Oh, and these live events. So like the Make and Take, someone said, are there CEUs for tonight? There are, or certificates of completion. There are for all access pass holders. There are none for free. We are not able to track people in the free hub and do the quizzes and stuff. So in the all access pass hub, that's where we can track that. So people who have the all access pass, just look on the main page, look under Abby for tonight. You'll be able to grab your certificate there. Look under adapted book, Make and Take. You'll be able to grab your certificate of completion there. Okay. Do you think we answered the gist of everything?
I think so. And you can always drop your questions in the Facebook community. We will get to you. We have mentors in there who are headed, to answer questions as well.
Central time.
Central time. Yes. Central time. All of the timing is central time. So if you have a question that I will tell you, if you drop something in the Facebook community that is like very specific, they're going to tell you to go to the inbox. So if it's super specific, just head there first. But if it is something that the group can benefit from as well, then go ahead and drop it in the Facebook community because we can answer it there as well.
Yeah, we're excited. And we'll see you over in the Facebook
There
group.
is a charge for the cue cards. The link is here. And I can drop that link if you're okay with it, Tara. I can drop that link in the Facebook community.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can give you a picture so everyone can see this is what she's talking about.
So by tomorrow.
And would it help you guys if we made a visual and a post showing the different things, the all access pass versus the membership? You know what I mean? Like what things you have available to choose from, your little smorgasbord of support, right? That's what we're here for.
I think that would be helpful just so they understand the 3 separate things we have going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And the certificates of completion, they're not like any state specific. They're what you have to find out from your state if they're accepted. But I mean, I feel like many times they are. Yeah. Go ahead.
Angela, if you already purchased the cue cards and they're not on the invoice, send us an email, support@autismlittlelearners.com. We will help.
Okay. I'm just typing in one more thing. Who now tonight has upgraded to the all access pass or is going to, because the price goes up to $117 at midnight tonight. And we don't want you to have to pay that. We want you to get it at the discounted price, $40 off. So yeah, let me know. Say,
yes, the cards come digitally. They're a digital PDF and then you print, laminate, or however you want to use them.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I think so. I think we're good.
All right. We will see you even tonight. We'll see you in the Facebook group. And thank you for hanging out here for so dang long. I hope you had a lot of takeaways, and I hope you loved Abby. I was so thrilled I could bring her to you. So thank you, and we will see you soon. Bye.